Whew, you guys had some opinions about that last coffee and trains. Well, let's talk about them. Hey everybody, my name's Jimmy. I'm drinking some Joffrey's coffee right now, and this is Coffee and Trains.
This video is brought to you with support from my patrons on Patreon. These videos would not be possible without them, and if you'd like to join the Patreon community, you can follow the link in the description below and join for as little as $1 a month.
First of all, guys, thank you so much for the kind words in regards to my head and my skin. I had a dermatologist topical skin treatment regimen that I did for 10 days to remove any precancerous cells from sun damage, so I didn't have to have them lasered or froze off in the future. So it worked really well, but my skin's still getting back to normal. Okay, back to model trains. You guys had a lot of opinions and comments about the last video, and if you haven't watched that last video, I'll link it right at the end. And I wanted to talk about some solutions that you guys talked about to the issue of model railroad affordability and accessibility, because I do want to make it clear that I don't think that a lot of the locomotives that are offered right now are overpriced. I think you get a lot of amazing detail and a lot of amazing features, and I think that they're worth the price. A great example is the Scale Trains rivet counter that I have. That thing is worth every penny that I paid for it. But what I'm talking about is there's really not an accessible entry-level point for DCC, which is at this point technology that's over 30 years old. So what did you guys say? What solutions did you guys bring up? What comments and opinions did you guys have? We're going to talk about all that right now. The first thing I'm going to talk about now is some broader methods of saving some money. And the first one is to check out train shows. Train shows are great for finding used inventory at reasonable prices. Plus, a lot of times you can haggle. I know that I haggle a lot at model train shows, and they're usually up for it as long as you're being reasonable. Model train shows are a great place to buy a lot of rolling stock. You can also find a lot of collectibles. Plus, there's usually quite a few layouts out there that can give you some inspiration. So model train shows, hopefully we're getting more and more of those as we hopefully get out of this whole situation in the world. But hopefully we can get back to going to model train shows. I'm hoping this year I can go to one, but model train shows are great for used inventory and collecting things. The next thing is to see if you have a model railroad club around you. I know this isn't for everyone because everyone doesn't have a club around them, but a lot of times model railroad clubs are going to have their own layouts that they can run on there. So you can just buy equipment that you can run if you're a member, and you don't have to worry about having that huge layout all by yourself. You can contribute to their layout, and you can learn a lot from the members that are there, and you guys can exchange techniques. So model railroad clubs can not only help you save money in terms of large layouts and small layouts, but they can also help you learn a lot about the hobby. The third thing I'm going to talk about is actually one that's a little bit interesting and it's a little bit different. I'm actually thinking about trying it out this year. It's going to take a bit of an investment for the way that I want to do it, but it is virtual model railroads. Now don't turn off right now. So it has come to the point now where we have games that are literally virtual model railroads. You can run pre-made model railroads, you can build your own model railroads, and you can even have them in virtual reality. So you put on a VR headset and you're able to walk around your model railroad. I don't think actually walk around, but there's a great game that I'm going to try called Rolling Line on Steam, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping. I got to buy a VR headset for the way that I want to do it, but you don't need it to do that. But the game's only $20. So if you really want to get into model railroading and you just don't have any space or any way to really get in that, you can always try virtual model railroad games. There's a lot out there. Before we get into the more specific solutions, I do want to go over some of the coffees that you guys are drinking. Dorsinator says that he's drinking Starbucks Pike Place Black. That sounds absolutely delicious. Metra MP36407 says that he's drinking Breakfast Blend Boston Style as usual. Jim Baritone says that he is drinking a homemade Tim's Double Double. Let me know what kind of coffees you guys are drinking in the comments below, and I might feature them right here. Okay, so I featured three very general solutions and workarounds for the accessibility and affordability issue for model trains, but let's talk about some a bit more specific. Now, if you're looking to get started, you're tight on budget, or you don't want to spend too much money because you're not sure if you like it or not, you just want to try it out, buy DC to start off with. I know I'm an advocate for jumping right into DCC, but DC is definitely the more affordable of the two. It does have its drawbacks in terms of its feature set, but DC is going to be the affordable way to get into model railroading. And I'll tell you something, the track, it's all the same. So you don't have to worry about any compatibility issues once you decide that you want to do DCC or not. You'll be able to rewire it just fine. And once you get your starter set and you say, hey, I like this and I may want to get another locomotive, buy a DCC ready locomotive. What this is basically a DC locomotive that comes out of the box as DC, but it's got either a plug or a slot that can fit a DCC decoder in very easily. You usually just have to take the shell off, pop the decoder in, and then put the shell back on. Most of the decoders are designed to fit within those spaces. That's especially important in scale, but DCC ready locomotives are great if you want to start in DCC or DC and then maybe switch over to DCC. Now, my third one is one that I've said multiple times. eBay is your friend. When it comes to rolling stock and used equipment, there is so much on eBay. One of my personal favorites is Model Train Market, and I will link that below. But eBay is a great place to get equipment and get parts and everything. I know I've been fiddling around with modifying locomotives and having to buy parts to do things, and eBay's actually been a godsend for that. So eBay is a great place to just browse around, find used equipment. You can find lots of cars. You can find just individual cars. You can find cars that you can fix up. You can find parts. It's a great resource. So those are my 3 specific solutions along with my 3 general solutions. I want to hear what you guys think. Leave that in the comments below. Give me your solutions to the accessibility and affordability issue. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, drink some coffee, and happy railroading.